Okay, Kai. So thank you for joining me on this call. I need some coaching on how to deal with my team one.
Fantastic.
Okay, well, I'm glad you think so because I don't know what to do with him. Right now, where he's at is so he just started quarter one. Okay. And he's been doing, we've been in our quarter for like 3 weeks now, and he doesn't want to do training and development. He doesn't want to do the coaching calls. He only is barely willing to go to the classrooms and the weekend. The meeting is not at a time that works for him, and he is just like, I don't want to say he's completely shut down, okay? But he's only willing to take some of my texts. He doesn't necessarily respond within the same day, and I don't know how to move him. I don't know what to do with him. It's almost like he doesn't want to do this program.
Great. Well, it looks like he's off to a good start of resistance.
Oh yeah, he's got a good one on right there.
Oh, okay, fantastic. So why does he join Team One? What is the main reason he joined?
Okay. Well, if I go back to his application says he wants to grow his business,
Mm-hmm. Great.
but he doesn't, his game in the world isn't really about his business. It's like he took on a different project. He wants to develop his home.
Ah. So when you interview him in the Team One interview, of course you ask him why do you join team,
Hmm.
and he says, oh, I want to develop my business.
Hmm.
However, uh, how does that looks like in terms of measurable outcome
Well,
when he develop his business?
what he said he wanted to do is he wanted to double his income by the end of the quarter because he doesn't have that many clients. He's a coach for other people and he doesn't have that many clients. So he really wants to make twice as much. Right now, it's not a sustainable income.
Okay, okay. So let me take the conversation of him a little bit and go over a little bit concept distinction. Then we go back to him. So uh, there are multiple levels of responsibility, and on level one, we are all familiar with that. It's zero responsibility over here, 100% over there. So the whole world does this to me. So that's the victimhood.
Mhm.
On level two, it's 50-50. Actually, majority of people are sits in that. It's 50% my responsibility, and 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 and, and over there it's also 50. So people living in that level of responsibility, they live their life for fairness. However, what turns out to be mostly is avoid blame, and both level one and level two is disempowering.
Mhm.
Now, when people move to level three of responsibility, that's the first time they get concept of everything happened in my life is 100% my responsibility. Uh, so it's like, hey, I got my car breakdown, I got sickness, and I lose my job, but everything happened in my life. They occurs to them is okay, it's my responsibility. They have to choose to be on level three, and that's the first time the concept of responsibility turns from disempowering into empowering, because once I take 100% of my responsibility of my life, I can actually do something about it. Now, that's level three. And then when they move to level four, that is, I'm not only responsible for my life, I'm also responsible for everything happening in my life, in your life, and how the interaction between us. So, so that is the foundation of how the 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 team and teamwork
Mhm.
works. Because in order for me to create a teamwork, I have to choose to take responsibility of your life as well, like
Mhm.
how your life turns out, whether my wife is upset or whether my boss is triggered, I'm responsible for that.
Mhm. He's
Now,
not even close to that.
yes, so from your guessing,
Mhm.
which level of responsibility he is now?
It's interesting because sometimes he's in level two, but when
Mm-hmm.
he's on it, he's level one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm screwed over by life. This is not fair. That's kind of like when he can't get what he wants, that's where he is.
Great, great. So 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 all the distinctions we have in communication course, uh, like a like a the access power and power to create, the person needs to choose to be in level 3 in order to work. And then all the team distinction, the technology for accomplishment, the person needs to choose to be on level 4 in order for it to work.
So that means that I got to get him to level three before he's even playing this game.
Exactly, exactly. If he's stuck in level 1 or level 2, even you try to coach him out of point of view, that will not work. Because he has to choose, I'm 100% responsible for my life in order for that to work. So now uh, once you say, okay, most time he's in level 2. Actually, majority of people is in level 2. Like I would say 80% of population is in level 2. That's how we grew up. And and then sometimes he goes to level 1.
Mhm.
Now the first thing you got to do is, how do I move him from level 1 or level 2 into level 4? Because level 4 is where the team 1 operates.
So he doesn't have to get to three to get to four. Is that right?
Correct, 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 correct.
Okay.
Well, technically, uh, most of the team 1, when they join team 1, they already have the concept how operates on level 3 is like. Because that is what Landmark Forum does. Like in the Landmark Forum, when we do chocolate vanilla choose,
Mhm.
that is choosing my life exactly as it is.
Mm, hmm.
And when the person get that, saying, "Oh, I choose life because I choose life. I choose vanilla because I choose vanilla. I choose vanilla not because vanilla is better, and not because vanilla is tasty. I choose vanilla because I choose vanilla." When the person get that, he actually choose level 3. Like I choose
Okay.
life exactly as it is. So
Okay.
so the person is actually know that concept since he took the forum, but he needs to well, he needs to choose to be in that and then see life from that lens. So each level of responsibility is like a conscious level, or it's like a lens, like how you see life. So the biggest challenge, or actually the biggest growth for you as a team 2, is when you get a new team 1, in the first couple of weeks, you got to move him to level 4, and as soon as fast as possible.
Because
So
if we don't, they're not interacting. They're not coachable.
exactly. If they're not in level 4, they don't have the possibility alive for them to put in all the effort into growth. Because they have where they're comfortable as. Like, say I live my entire life in level 1, level 2. Why do I want to get out of my comfort zone?
Sure. Yeah. It's not a big enough game for them. It's not a big enough goal for them to play.
Exactly, exactly. Now, coming back to your coachee, uh, how do you move him from where he's at to level 4?
I don't know. How do I?
Okay, great. Um, that's why the questions. Okay, so I think let's better do a mock conversation. Say, pretend you are the team one and I'm Yvette.
Okay. So
Okay.
so you're my coach.
Yes, I'm your team two coach Yvette, and you're the team one quarter one.
Okay.
And what's your name? Like
Pat.
Pat. Okay, you're Pat. I'm Yvette.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Hi, hello, Pat. Welcome to our first coaching call. Well, I'm excited for our quarter together. Let me get to know you a little better. Tell me, why do you join Team One?
Because I heard that you can make your business grow here.
Oh, absolutely. Uh, just put in the chord. How does that look like for your business?
I would like to double the number of clients that I have.
Okay. So in 3 months' time, give me a number. So how many clients you have now and how many clients you have is in by the end of the quarter.
I have three, so I want six by the end of the quarter.
Okay. And and how does that look like by the end of team one?
I don't know. I never thought that far out.
Oh, well, we're in the call.
But
That's
isn't my
great.
game for just one quarter?
Yes, yes. Your game with me is one quarter, but knowing what you're signing up for is helping for me to actually guide you, and also I'm always excited to learn about what other people is up to.
So is this my game in the world or is this just something else?
Uh, this is I'm trying to get what be because 1 year of team one is a big commitment and acknowledge you for actually jumping on it and spending a whole year in that. So it's it, I'm trying to get I'm trying to create with you what you're gonna getting out of this 1 year, and this will set a solid foundation for your coming year.
So this is a game between me and my coach. Is that right?
Uh, so when I'm asking you, okay, how does that look like in 1 year?
Uh-huh.
This is the game for you, and as your coach and as the entire team two body, we are doing everything to making sure you accomplish that in 1 year.
Okay. Because my game in the world is about my house. Because I can do that. So I figured I'll do that game.
Okay.
But
Uh,
you're asking me about my life now. So that's
ah,
different.
yes, yes. So when we're talking about game, you have your game in the world, and then there's something I call game of life.
Okay.
Like for example, I have a game of life. Like my game of life of this year is uh, to make a difference in 1 million people this year in 2024. It's a big game, but that's what I give my word for.
Hmm.
So yes, your game in the world is your house, and then typically when we're looking at gaming life, we we're talking about relationship. That's one big area. We're talking about career. That's one big area, and then there also another big area, maybe health, and then
Family.
a family. Yes. So all of this is encompassing in game of life.
Okay.
So
Game of life.
for you to actually create that, saying, okay, this is everything I want to accomplish in my 1 year, will help both of us to be clear where we're going towards.
Okay. So going back to your question of how many people do I want to coach by the end of the year?
Correct. Like how many clients you will have by the end of the year.
Well, I would like to see 25 clients.
Okay. So 25 clients.
I don't even know if I have that many hours. I
Uh,
mean, I'd like the money associated with it, but I don't know if that's even possible.
now we are getting somewhere. Yes. So my job as your team two coach is to make sure when you create a game in the world, it's going to be impossible to accomplish by yourself.
But if my game in the world is my house and this is my game in the life, are you going to coach me on both?
Yes. Be
Okay.
because I be because you join team one
Mhm.
to learn to create a team and teamwork. It is essential for you to play the game that is not possible to play by yourself. Otherwise, there's no point for you to join team. You already know how to play a long wolf game.
Yeah, I do. That's why I chose my house because I can do that. Okay.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
is it too late to change my game in the world?
No.
But it already got approved by the program manager.
So do you want to learn how to do you want to get trained developed this quarter with me of how to create a teamwork?
Yes.
That's the whole point, right?
Yes.
And it is essential for you to play a game that require team and teamwork.
So then what do I do about the approval then?
Well, you have two choices. It's already proved you can play that game. However, you will not getting the opportunity
Hmm.
to train developed. And in a way, if you play a long wolf game, it's let me be blunt with you. You will be wasting you 1/4 of your time,
Hmm.
and it's possibly waste 1/4 of my time. And I will support whatever you choose to. But
Okay.
the second option is let's just create a new game from scratch. Be because this way you actually have you create a game you never played before. And using your word, you're saying, hey, it may not be possible. And and that will bring you into an entire new area.
Okay.
But
Well,
but
well, go ahead.
but in order for that to happen, you got to play a game that is impossible to play by yourself.
And I get that. I don't have time to play both games. So can I just focus on my clients?
Yes, absolutely.
So then what do I do then? Do I just not work on the game in the world?
I would suggest you just scratch your old game of the world and create an entire new game of war.
And then what do I do? Do I have to get it reapproved?
Yes,
They do that?
yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, and I also taking responsibility since your house of game getting approved. Uh, I was reviewing the game earlier, and I take responsibility that hasn't pointed that out earlier for you, because that's a clearly long wolf game, and long wolf game that you can accomplish the entire game by yourself. And I should have given you suggestion while you're creating that game so that even the house game can be created as a team game instead of lone wolf game. So I'm taking responsibility that I didn't let you know in that process so that that game be created as a team game. But now we are at where we are. Let's start creating the new game.
So then I go, after I unfold it,
Mhm.
I go to you for approvals, and then you go to team to team leader, and team to team leader goes to program manager?
Yes. So
Gotcha.
so after you create game, you put the game to me, and my job is to making sure this game is not a lone wolf. It's not like okay, you increase your client by say 10%, that you can just stretch your hours, then you can accomplish that. Because then you do not need a teamwork to play. And I have to looking at your game and stretch it in a way so that it occurs to you saying, oh my God, I actually need a team to accomplish that game.
Gotcha. Okay, let's
So
do this.
so perfect. So right now you have 3 clients,
Hmm.
and then you're saying uh, by the end of the quarter, you're gonna grow 6 clients.
Hmm.
So from 3 to 6.
Hmm.
Okay, great. So let's go through the concept. In order for you as a team two to take a person from level 2 to level 4,
Hmm.
the first things you need to create is possibility for that person to move out of area he's very familiar with his entire life
Hmm.
and go into a unfamiliar area. And in order for people to go out of his comfort zone to go into an unfamiliar area, the possibility needs to be alive.
Hmm.
And and for that to happen, you need to create a future that he never thought is possible. And that future he's excited to live into. And if that part we have done a good job, that person is willing to jump from his comfort zone into an entire new area with uncertainty. So in particular, this case, the first thing when you hear that person saying, oh, uh, I want to move my client from 3 client to 6 client, and my game in the world is just to renovate my house. And you get what he want to accomplish is a marginal improve in his life. So the first thing you as a team two is to unfold in your head, okay, how do I add a zero to it? How do I create his life in a way it's so explosive that he's excited about it? So immediately what I hear, like one is uh, in terms of his client base, is it possible instead of grow 3 to 6 clients to play a game from 3 to 30? Be because to play a client base from 3 to 30, that's definitely out of what his expectation. Now, if in my head I'm doing the pre-unfolding, uh, so and so in his unfolding from 3 to 6 is probably he just do more hours, all of that. But in my head, while I'm doing his game in the world to do 3 to 30, that immediately requires of how does he uh, play a sales and marketing game using team and teamwork. So in landmark, when people taking accountability, people essentially are creating a marketing game. Like for example, when a say uh, a CPC accountable saying I promise uh, Team San Diego will register 20 people. He's not saying I single-handedly will register 20 people myself this quarter in Team San Diego, and he's actually saying, how do I empower the entire team to register 20 people into CPC? And very similar, when I'm unfolding uh, that person getting 30 clients by the end of 3 months, it's essentially the same thing.
By the way, we don't do acronyms. Power to create.
Okay. Yes. And
Gotcha.
then and that's where the power of technology accomplishments start coming to being.
So when you pre-unfold, what does that look like?
Great. So um, so how it looks like is when you're um, the game in the world has four parts: creating, unfolding, managing, and fulfill. All of this are required teamwork to accomplish. What has been missing, I find a lot of team one is when they creating the game themselves. They're not utilizing team and teamwork to create.
Hmm.
And so typically, what 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 I will talk to my team one will say, okay, for next 5 minutes, let's just dream, saying instead of 6 clients, let's dream saying you're creating 30 clients. Just play with me. So how do you create a 30 clients in 3 months? And give me 5 ways you can think of. And then I asked the person start coming up 5 ways, and he said, okay, I'll create flyer, I'll do social media, and then he gave me 5 approach, and then I said, that's fantastic. Now you are going to ask 20 people in 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 your uh, uh, circle, and now you ask them, each of them give you 5 ideas to create a 30 clients in next 3 months, starting with me. So you're gonna ask Kai, uh, I you are one of the smart people I know, Kai, and you have a lot of experience, and you have always been supporting me. And I need a big favor, and I'm creating a game of increasing my client base to 30 clients by the end of 3 months, and give me 5 ideas. So see in this conversation, you actually have an acknowledgement on the first element, and then and then and then has the conversational action request, and then ask me as his friend to give him 5 ideas, and then I will give him 5 ideas, and 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 that, and then after that, I will say, okay, now you have 19% to go. I'm going to request you have 19 conversations between this call and our next coaching call, and writing down all the ideas you get. And this way, not only he will get 100 ideas, and his future team member will arise from the conversation.
Seems like a lot of conversations for team one.
Yes, yes. But that's how the technology for accomplishment in action.
Mhm.
Because then in the next coming week, instead of he's trying to figure out, oh, how do I do this? How do I do that? How do I do this? Which is his past long wolf behavior.
Mhm.
He actually get into an entire new area of, who do I talk to? Okay, I need to come up with 20 names. And then after I come up with 20 names, I need to talk to Mary. And how do I talk to Mary? And then some of the conversation will be ineffective.
Mhm.
And then he may just go blunt saying, Mary, you do this for me. And then he will experience some of the conversation effective and some of the conversation ineffective.
So
And
you're
he will,
pushing him to bump up against a wall and see breakdowns.
correct. And then when we're coming back to the next call, he says, "Oh, I instead of 20 calls, I have 5 calls." I say, "Okay, great." And tell me about the 5 calls. And then he said, out of 5 calls, 3 of them they just flatly decline, saying, "No, I don't want to help you." And 2 of them actually help. I said, "Okay, that's great." Go over the effective ones, and then see that's great. And then go over now the gold comes to go over the ineffective ones, saying, "Tell me, what did you say to that person? What he say, what you say, what he say, what you say." Then the technological accountability coaching actually coming from a real case situation. And after he said, "Oh, I should acknowledge that person. Oh, I should create a listening of that person. And oh, I could say this way." Then for the week after that, I say, "Okay, go back, talk to that person one more time, knowing now you 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 know how to do the conversation relatedness, you know how to do the conversation possibility. Knowing that, go back, talk to that person again."
Mm-hmm.
And then this way he become more and more mastery of learning technology of accountability in a real situation.
And this will move him from 2 to 4?
So that's a good question. So to move a person from 2 to 4, he need to be excited about 30 client. And then he need to see that 30 client is actually feasible. And the key thing is, in my experience, is if the 5 suggestions you are giving him actually making that impossible become possible, then he will be willing to move. So another way of saying that is, when you say, "Hey, let's just brainstorm." So instead of 6 clients, how about let's unfolding 30 clients? And then in his head, he's saying 6 clients is already difficult, 30 clients is possible, but he play with you. But when you're giving him 5 approach, and those 5 approach, all of a sudden making him thinking, "Oh my God, 30 clients is actually possible."
Mm.
And because thinking about what client is just enrollment conversation. And if you listen to that person, that his enrollment conversation, he's already very powerful, very mastery in the technology for accomplishment, then he will be able to make 30 clients. And when you're giving him the suggestions, because when we're talking marketing, we are basically talking about how big your base is
Mm-hmm.
and how much your conversion rate is.
Mm-hmm.
So your conversion rate is directly related to your effectiveness in technological accomplishment. Your base is related to how many people you talk to.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them is part of a creating teamwork. So when he's doing long wolf, he has a very narrow saying, "I only talk to 2 person." And then his conversion rate is low because I'm forcing outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you're giving him an idea on both, saying instead of 2 person, I'm going to request you talking to 20 person, you immediately opens how many people he's talking to. And then you're training him on technology for accomplishment. So moving him from forcing outcome to actually conversational relatedness, possibility, opportunity. So both his base is getting bigger
Mm-hmm.
and actually much bigger. And then his conversion rate is getting higher. So then all of a sudden, 30 clients become feasible.
Okay.